Hi, this is Isabel Litzler. So today's video is about how to job hunt like a pro. So the way to become a better job seeker, first of all, is to see yourself more as someone who brings value. So you're not looking for an opportunity, you're actually bringing an opportunity to a company. So the mindset is my first step, is really believe that you have something great to offer to an organization. And if you believe it, then you convince the most important person, which is you, and it's easier than to convince others that you're someone of value and someone who can bring a lot of resources to an organization. So I see people commenting here a lot on the non-EU and the permit situation. For me, all this is secondary. The paperwork is secondary. If you're someone of value, if you're someone who can solve a problem in the world, you're always going to have a company that wants to hire you. It doesn't matter where you're sitting, what you're doing at the moment. If you have a solution to a problem, if you're in China, if you're in South Africa, in South America or Africa or wherever, people will want to hire you because you can solve a big problem for them. So it's to look at things differently rather than saying, okay, how can I get a permit in Switzerland, for example? The other way to look at it is, what kind of problem can I solve in Switzerland that's really difficult to solve right now and that's bringing a lot of headaches to companies? And then if you can solve that problem, I can really tell you, believe me, people will do the permit for you because you can solve a big problem for them that's going to save them a lot of money. So the cost of paying for your permit is well covered. So I've seen this also when I was an HR manager. We've done permits for people who were outside of EU, and because they brought so much value to us, they cut us on the headaches, and they already had the experience. So we'd rather do a file for them and get the permit for them than trying to find someone who didn't have the experience and train them. So again, think about it differently. How can I solve a big problem in Switzerland right now for companies? Do some research online, see what are the big headaches right now in Switzerland that you can solve. Most of you now, you probably have very good skills in tech, maybe. You've trained yourself in some specific areas where Switzerland is still trying to get up to speed. So maybe you can bring some value there. So you just need to find your niche and sell yourself on that particular niche where there's not many people that are targeting this niche. So that's number one, is really look at it, change your mindset a little bit. You're not looking for something, you're bringing something. So that's number one. Number two is that you need to be busy. People who are successful are rarely the type of people who are waiting for opportunities. They're chasing opportunities very actively. So chasing opportunities doesn't mean that you're looking for a job or you're trying to convince others that you're the great person. Chasing opportunities is more about looking at, again, doing research, seeing where there's a gap, trying to fit yourself in that gap. So in your agenda, you should be meeting people, having conversations, understanding their needs. That's how you're going to find an opportunity, is by looking at what the market needs. So I go back to my same thing that I keep saying, the best opportunities is to meet people in person. So invest in coming to Switzerland to meet people in person. If you're only staying away, you're not going to bring a lot of value in a market that you don't know a lot about. It's going to be tough. So if you're really serious about finding an opportunity in Switzerland, you need to come to Switzerland, invest in travel and being here in person. I will link below the event platforms I use. I am myself organizing lunch and networks regularly. This is an easy way to come to Switzerland and meet people in your field. Even if you're, let's say, living in a country close by to Switzerland, you can easily come to the lunch and then maybe do another event that same day, so you're making the most out of it. So go to events would be my advice number two. And number three is to build up your personal brand. So I will link the video about personal branding I did. Some of the main messages there is to build a consistent brand. So you need to be consistent with your profile, have a good photo that is professional photography, and then finally have content. So there's two ways for me that will bring you the most value in 2020 if you're out there looking for an opportunity. The first one will be to meet people in person, to try to strike those opportunities or make them happen. And the other one is to produce content. So if you want to be seen, to be considered, etc., rather than to focus on your nationality, focus more on what you bring to the market. Maybe you have some knowledge in an area that you can share via blog. And nowadays, you don't even need to show that you're non-EU in your blog. You can just have an avatar. A lot of bloggers start that way. They have an avatar. It could be, the thrifty traveler, for example. If you talk about travels, for example, and we don't know where this person is based and what they do, but let's say I'm a company, I love your content, I want to engage with you and contact you. I still don't know where you're from. It will come later down the line, but by that time, I'm already convinced you're the right person for my company. So you see how you brand yourself in a way where you talk about a topic maybe where it's not clear where you're from, and people can actually engage with you that way. That's one way you can choose to do it, is by having, for example, an anonymous blog, or you can go the transparent way where people can see your profile, but you're completely happy with what you have to say. You're happy that people can see where you are. And only the companies that are motivated to really engage with you seriously will not be afraid of your nationality. So it shouldn't be an issue in any kind of relationship, your age, your things like that. And then if it is, the question should be, do I really want to work for this company? Do you really want to work for a company that only chooses you because you're below a certain age and you're a certain nationality? I mean, personally, at this stage in my life, where I'm especially doing more thinking about building a sustainable career, I want people to work with me because they're engaged with my work, they like what I do, they believe in what I do, rather than my age or my nationality. So it should be, I think, a big selling point for you, where you're building something for the long term. You want people to believe in what you do, and you can find a good working relationship, whether it be in Switzerland or in another country. It's more about, building something strong. Because if you're only hired because you're close by and you have the right nationality, maybe you're not the right fit for the organization. And after 6 months, you're let go. And then you have to either leave the country, you don't have a permit anyways. So you're actually making it more complicated for yourself, right? So that's why finding the right opportunity to begin with, and again, I'm saying this from someone who's lived it firsthand. I came for work with a company that I wasn't aligned with, and I ended up leaving after 9 months. So rather than to do it that way, which I believe now is the wrong way, the better way would be who I am, what kind of company do I want to work for? Am I really engaged in this company's products, and do I really want to work for them? Or do I have something else to offer? So it's a little bit more food for thought, what kind of person you are, and then it will bring you more of a sustainable career where you don't have to worry so much about losing your job, getting let go, and being afraid that somebody else is going to pick your spot, which is really not a good, comfortable space to be. If people are really engaged with you, if they love what you're doing, if they believe you're the right fit for them, they will be less likely to let you go from the company than if they just hire you because you're convenient, you're next door, you have the right nationality. So I hope this was helpful, and feel free to comment. I'm happy to get your suggestions because, again, I'm sharing my views in this channel, what I've learned also through my experience, but I'm always curious to hear about other people's perspectives and what they've accomplished and what space they're in right now. So I will talk to you soon. Feel free to share the video as well for friends that you think it would help. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks.